Most applications don't become difficult to maintain because of Laravel. They become difficult to maintain because business logic slowly accumulates inside controllers. The challenge isn't recognizing the problem. The challenge is deciding where the logic should go instead. Should it go in services? Should it go in actions or jobs? Well, today I'll show the approach I'm using while building TaskForge. A controller should coordinate, it shouldn't become the application. Yet this always happens naturally when we start building. We start with one line, then validation, then authorization, then notifications, then login, then quick dispatching. 6 months later, the controller contains half the business rules of the system. Well, let's dive into code and I'll show you how I actually structure my application while I'm building. I have data. This is for DTO data object. I'll explain that shortly. And then I have services. Right, here you are. I have services and then I have the models. Let's get into the actions. I'll pick the project action for an example. Create project action and I'll pick its data. Create project data. Okay, so I'll be talking actions. What are actions? Well, an action is a class where you define a single process that an application needs to do. Like for example, I want to create a project. It is one single thing that I want to do. I just want to create a project. So when this class is called, it will create a new instance. And then I make sure that instance will return a promise saying that the instance of this action should be of type project module. Meaning whatever is created here, it should be an instance of the project module. Because in the end, I return the project. So how does this action work? Well, I have this function, the handle function. We'll not worry much about this one for now. This is the real action work because I'll be calling this function handle when I refer to this action class. I'll be referring precisely to this function handle to perform this task. So what it does is it will take as parameter workspace, taking the workspace ID because a project belongs to a workspace based on the business domain, based on the business model I have. And then it takes as parameter also create project data. You might be wondering what this create project data is. Well, here it is. So a create project data, it is a DTO, meaning data object. So this class allows me to manipulate a lot of data as one single object. So rather than passing in, okay, here I have int team ID string, a name, and I have another string description. So instead of me writing all of this in here in this handle function, passing it as parameter, instead of me writing all of it here and writing it whenever I want to use this create project action anywhere in this application, rather than me writing it all here, I just define this class which will allow me manipulate all of them, use all of them as an object. So let's get back to the create project action. So when it gets this workspace, the workspace which it should belong to, because you get into a workspace, from within that workspace you create a project. The project needs to have the ID of that workspace so that it knows it belongs to that workspace. Okay, now let's talk about services. So services come into play when you have multiple processes that you have to do. Like you have multiple actions that need to perform some function that they are related to one another. Well, in my case, I had a service when I needed the service to orchestrate the workflow of another service. So I brought in a service here when a user wants to create an organization. When he creates an organization, the user has to have a workspace by default. So what I did was I created a service for this. The service takes in the organization data, creates a Unix log for it, and then it checks if if the organization already exists, then returns an error validation exception with the message organization with that name already exists. Then if not, then I proceed to creating an organization. When I create the organization, I call the relationship of the organization and the user, which is an owner relationship, to ensure that the table is populated, so that I have um, an owner ID on the table for relationship between organization and members, because the owner of an organization is also a member of the organization, but just with a different role. Then I log the activity, and this is the interesting part where I call the next activity the workspace service. The next part is where I call the workspace service. So what happens here is, once organization is created, in order for me to have a workspace, I must have an organization. So once the organization is created, I pass in the organization that has been created, so that I get the organization ID, which I will use to populate in the workspace table, because an organization has many workspaces, one-to-many relationship. So I pass in the organization which I created, then I pass in the workspace name. This workspace name is gotten from my form. As you can see, this is data workspace name, meaning it is gotten from here, from this organization data, and I always explain what this does, how I work with it. So when the execution reaches this point, it calls this create default workspace function on the workspace service class, so that once I get here, passing organization and workspace name into the create workspace service, and this is the create default workspace function that is expecting the organization and the workspace name as parameters. And then I proceed to create a workspace having that organization ID I passed, and then a name is logged, and I set it to its default true, because currently in the domain I defined, a default workspace should not be deleted. Then I log the activity and I return the workspace. So this service has done more than one thing. If I had an action for this, an action would just simply create an organization, and that's all. And then I'll need another action to create the workspace. I do have an action to create the workspace, this one, but they are different. This one for the workspace service. The workspace service creates a workspace by default, meaning this workspace is only created when a new organization has been created. When the organization already exists with a default workspace, user can then now create a new workspace or multiple workspaces that will be handled by the create workspace action, which does exactly that: create just a workspace, and that's all. The service creates the organization service creates a workspace. The organization service creates an organization, then creates the workspace. That's really two processes, not one. Okay, now you might be wondering, where does the controller fit? So what my controller is doing here is, it is orchestrating the work that is being done. So when the user opens the email, if the user is clicking accept invitation, the controller will receive that request and ensure and do the necessary checks, ensure the user is accepted, ensure the user actually accepts the invitation, and then it redirects the user to the organization show page. Then if the user wants to reject, the controller shows the reject form, and then the user finally clicks the reject button. It calls the reject action, and then it does the work. So the controller doesn't have anything to do with the business model. It does not create invitation. It does not accept invitation directly. It does not reject the invitation. It calls the action that is responsible for all of that. That is how I structure TaskForge as I move forward with the project. The controllers will coordinate, handle the HTTP concern, authorize and validate, stay thin and predictable. Then the actions will execute one responsibility contain business rules, reusable everywhere I want. Then the services. You bring multiple actions together and manage complex workflows when you are building your applications. Be it you're using Laravel as your stack or you're using any other framework. Just separate, you could separate concerns like how I did in TaskForge. So there should be clear responsibilities, decoupled design, testable code, scalable architecture, maintainable code bases. So keep your controllers thin, let actions do the work, use services to orchestrate.